Didn't even get to the Ramadan.
Didn't get to Ramadan because we're ready to go.
Let's go, though. Come on.
Let me get rid of the soundboard real quick. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why we've not got a soundboard. We need to get one. I thought, ain't you a sound designer as well?
Hey, you know, add it to the list, man.
Add it to the list of a million things to do. Okay, let's go. All important Ramadan. I'm feeling good. West, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. What's up, man? Let's go. It's Thursday. Come on, baby.
West still nursing a 0-year-old. The big Ramadan time today. A lot to talk about. A lot. What's going on? I'm gonna have to mute you. Stay filthy. You're being too filthy right now, dude. You've been muted for being filthy. Sorry. Feels like I'm a teacher in a class. I hope I'm not server muted you. If I have, please say something. Okay. Anyway, so a lot to talk about. A lot to say about why certain things we can't talk about anymore, not for lack of want, but for lack of need and safety. Essentially, there's a lot in motion right now. The next few months are shaping up really good. It means a lot of hard work on our end as usual, but that's what we're here to do. We're here to work. We're here to provide the goods, and we're continually driven to do so. So there's a lot in motion right now, and more than ever, we need the Carrot Gang to stay strong and, in bold letters, trust the process. Where right now we're in super Web3 mode, we're in DGen mode, we're in have some fun mode. We're really trying to get back to some old school MPH vibes that everybody loved. That on self-reflection, we've probably slightly moved away from, but we need to get back to it because that's what we're about. That's at the core of us. The core of us has been about hooligans and having some fun. So My Pet Hooligan's always been a different animal, and it's time to show the world again why we are a different animal. So today, going to give you a bit of an update on where we are with things because it's been a while since we spoke. From probably next session, next Ramadan onwards, what I really want to dive back into is what the Ramadan was really about, and is essentially giving the community either some homework or some talking points or thinking points to come back and kind of discuss and kind of really getting the community's feel for things. I often get messages about, let's get the team a little bit more active in Discord and chatting away. Definitely we'll try and do that. It's just, that's what I essentially want to use these sessions for, is like quality time with members of the team so we can kind of discuss some of the things that are on your mind. With everything kind of going on with development, with games, with releases, with integrations, it's obviously difficult to always be in Discord. However, when the community speaks, we've got to act on it. So we'll try and be, a bit more active on the text chat and not just the VCs, and kind of give you the goods and just essentially keep you all as informed as possible. So I know what everyone wants to know about. Everyone wants to know about the token. Everyone wants to know about Zuckbots. Everybody wants to know about others, about growth, about business, what's coming next. And I'm going to try and tackle as much of that today. So firstly, just as a matter of transparency and honesty, since we've had new legal counsel, we are being advised to take more of an approach of saying less and having more surprises. And to be honest with you, I think the whole mystery and anticipation and speculation side of things with MPH has probably been something we've done in small doses, but I believe we should lean into it a bit more and, actually have more surprises and less talk about certain things. 100,000% transparency and everything's good, but it can also kind of kill the fun a bit. And I think generally within Web3 communities, a lot of the kind of mystery is also a good factor as well. So we're definitely going to lean into that, which also kind of helps on the legal side as well.
Yeah, exactly. This is, we want to make sure that we're doing everything safely and by the books. So
yeah, we're talking about by the book West here. Yeah. West got a really cool AMGI sweater on right now.
Yeah, it's definitely it's from the early days.
It's pretty cool actually. We should get some of those more. Yeah, and also want a bit of a disclaimer. When we talk about token, I need to be clear that the studio will not be releasing a token. There is a foundation that will be releasing a token, and My Pet Hooligan will be the launch partner for the token. And that token will be used within the My Pet Hooligan ecosystem. And not only that, but the foundation is also going to actively work on other ecosystems to embed the token into as well. The foundation will essentially grant you some aforementioned drops that you're expecting. So you generally have an idea of what it will be doing. But I just wanted to get that legal spiel out of the way. So I can talk about some of the things I've heard that are happening as a community member. Hope that makes sense. So, we've currently seen there's a strong narrative around gaming and gaming tokens right now. We're all almost kind of entering that phase where it doesn't matter what the game does or what the utility it does. If the narrative's there, everything's just going to go up. So, we have in the last few weeks and months seen some new tokens pump up. We've seen some of the older ones pop back on the scene too, and essentially ride this wave that's come. This is essentially how narratives work, and narratives kind of flip flop around crypto. It might be DeFi day, it might be Metaverse day, it might be gaming day, it might be layer 2 days. Like, that's essentially how it works. And then one boat often lifts all. And with that, I'm hearing that the foundation may be releasing on the earlier side of Q1 next year. And from my understanding, the pre-sale has been fully completed, and there are notable parties involved, as well as notable individuals in the crypto space too. So, I believe the foundation's getting set for launch. I'm also of the understanding that MPH Genesis holders should be getting an airdrop. I'm also of the understanding that there could be a baseline airdrop for all OG hooligans too. And I'm also of the understanding that there may be ways in which to get more of an airdrop, maybe through some set tasks, or maybe through some unset tasks too. Um, I know we've all been accruing. What am I seeing here? I know we've all been accruing points on our hooligans. I believe last reported by NFTs, there was over 7 million S carats in flow right now, and some individuals may not have even claimed the S carats, so there could be more. What else of the understanding of is that it's not likely that there will be a public sale, but anything can change. There may be a small amount available via exchange launch pads, which is kind of a typical approach when launch padding through an exchange and having an immediate listing on TGE. Just so everybody's aware, like a DAO essentially will work by votes and proposals and will essentially control the treasury where the majority of any tokens in a foundation will sit. So when it comes to rewards, stakings, essentially there'll also have to be a community decision and the community will have to vote on things. But what that doesn't mean is that certain proposals can't be preceded into the DAO on launch. So what it could mean is, on a good note, is that new things can be done. E.g., let me give you an example here. If a staking proposal was made post token launch that was not only to include my Pet Hooligan assets such as the OGs, it could also include, let's say, coins, carrot coins, and things like Zuckbots too, which could provide additional boosters, kind of like what ApeCoin did with how they launched staking as well. So there's a bit on the token side of things. I can't see what everybody's saying in the Discord, but are you allowed to ask questions? Yeah, jump in because I'm going to move on to something else in a sec. But essentially, most of you are aware of what's kind of happening, what's to be expected on that side of things, and nothing's really kind of fundamentally changed. Let's say the things that could fundamentally change is there may be ways to actually make your numbers go up even more in the meantime. And that I'm going to jump in a sec. Okay, what are we talking about here? All right, it seems like there's a lot of chatter somewhere, which I can't see. So if anybody wants to jump in and fill me in on this chatter, I can hopefully add some color. It's about Polygon. The token will be ERC20 token, not a Polygon token. It will be an Omnichain token. With as it stands, it's looking like it will be launched with layer 0. So don't worry about chat, Sky. But okay, cool. I've been told not to worry about chat. All right, I just dropped you some little alpha there. There will be other launch partners to look forward to as well. So I'm pretty damn excited about this actually, and I'm super excited about having a legally compliant token that can be used within the MPH ecosystem and others ecosystems too, not only to kind of fuel game activity, but also as a means of user acquisition too. I think seeing what's been happening in the market, coming into Bitcoin halving and other potential drivers with ETFs, general narrative around Web3 gaming, it should be a very interesting few months. It's good to see other properties have released tokens as well, which I'd say are doing relatively well, even without some having any use cases yet. We're obviously seeing Prime's doing really well. Big Time's still doing what it's doing. Shrapnel, I believe, dropped last week. That's doing relatively well right now. Big shout out to all those guys. One thing to remember here is, this is never a competition. What's the saying about tides rising?
Yeah, there's
I don't know these sayings.
I mean, was it
all tides
rising tide, rising tide?
Lifts all. There you go. Yeah, exactly. There you go.
I don't know if that's exactly how it's said, but something along those lines.
So it doesn't have to be that there's only one winner in this space. The more winners, the better for everybody, essentially. And yes, I'm speaking to Shrapnel next week. Let's see what comes out of it. All I can say is essentially there's exciting times ahead. Not so far away. We can't really say too much. Just got to enjoy the ride, and again, trust the process. So what I want to talk about, that I can talk about a little bit more, is about My Pet Hooligan and token integrations into the ecosystem, and how we're planning for the future, and also prepared to navigate around certain roadblocks too, and really getting the hooligans back. And then and very importantly, getting the hooligans back into the game as well.
Yep.
As soon as possible. So key to all of this is something we're creating that is essentially, for now, it's called the My Pet Hooligan Player Hub. This is something creating which essentially our Web3 hub for the game. What does a quack mean?
I don't know.
I hope it's good.
Yeah.
That basically would talk.
There's a celebratory.
That will basically talk to everything else. So it's a Web3 hub that talks to everything else. It'll talk to the game wherever platform it is, and it'll talk to anything wherever it is. And we're also migrating a lot of the EOS stuff to PlayFab as well, which will help with this. And it'll also kind of help with improving server and matchmaking capabilities, which all plays into our kind of grand vision of token integration into the game. So the MPH Player Hub is where you're going to go. It's where you'll connect your wallets. It's where you'll create your embedded wallets for a non kind of Web3 native user that wants, a Google linked wallet. And it's where you'll also kind of go to track your achievements. In what I'm saying right now, I'm saying things in a very coded manner. So it's going to be on you to take from what I'm saying. I can't be so descriptive about things. It's where you'll go to get your achievements, track your achievements, where you also go to get your rewards and potentially see certain numbers go up.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot going on there. That's something we want to really be paying attention to.
It's where you're going to go and buy and sell and trade your collectibles, essentially our marketplace too.
Yep.
This will essentially require a new user account that will link to your other user accounts as well. So consider a My Pet Hooligan user account that will connect to your Epic account, that when we're on Steam, will connect to your Steam account. When we're on other platforms like Xbox, will connect to your Xbox account as well. It'll also allow you to connect to Twitter, Discord, and others. Essentially, it'll be a method by which we can also issue quests and activities and have mechanisms by which we can bring in new entrants into the game too. So user acquisition, potentially referrals as well. This in development right now, alongside all the according integrations into the game to ensure that everything happening in the hub is replicated in the game as well. So what this essentially allows us to do is, by having this hub that will sit on mypethooligan.com and, hopefully in the future on an app as well, this will be able to talk to various different versions of the product and ensure what we say is reciprocity. Yeah, reciprocity. So it'll ensure that where we've got, so a game, My Pet Hooligan on Steam is essentially different to My Pet Hooligan on Epic. They're essentially two different products, right? But what this ensures is you have say that word again.
Reciprocity.
I can't say it. I'm incapable of saying it. Reciprocity, which essentially means that anything you do in one version of the game would reciprocate into the other version of the game, and anything that you'd get in there would replicate into the other one. So all of that is essentially going to be managed through My Pet Hooligan Player Hub and PlayFab as well. So that'll all talk to everything and talk to each other, and that's how the mechanism will use to be able to then start to get the NFTs back into the game without actually even having to, hopefully, having to fundamentally change much of what's already out there and have to really kind of complete and create a separate build. So that's what essentially we're working on right now. There's a few kind of variables that are going to come up. There's a few things that we need to engineer. There's infrastructure solutions we got to bring in. We've got to also kind of have the conversations back in with Epic. We also kind of have a roadmap to get on Steam and other platforms as well. But this kind of system that we've developed with the gaming team, with the Web3 team and legal team is what essentially is going to be the heart of My Pet Hooligan. And it's not going to only be the heart of My Pet Hooligan in terms of driving what happens in the game and driving core activities in the game. It's also going to be by which we can start to bring in some of the other features that people may have assumed might have fallen off the map. So the ability to rent NFTs and to be able to use those NFTs again. NFT's utility within our ecosystem is not just that it's a special skin. It's not just that the staking. We also want to ensure that there are other benefits, specifically, potentially, in terms of making numbers go up potentially quicker than other means. So this is what essentially I'm talking to in some form of code in the best possible manner I can. I hope it all makes sense. So, like I say, this is all in development right now. We're doing this for a particular reason, which is to allow for flexibility, especially as we want to enter Epic, as we want to enter consoles, and we want to enter mobile. It allows us to be flexible where platforms don't yet support Web3 integrations, and still we can have everything in one place by just allowing user accounts to talk to each other. So this is a very exciting piece and a very important piece of the next few months, not in particular to getting people signed up, not in particular to just showing you your inventory system and your S carrots, but also in terms of having specific quests outside of the game, also in terms of having the ability to transact on our NFTs, also having the ability to be able to reward holders and non-holders even, and also the ability to start to allow individuals to have Web3 inventory systems where they don't have a MetaMask or don't want their own kind of wallet as well. Again, there are solutions we can use that are custodial and self-custodial as well, but we're moving more to the self-custody side of things as well. I hope all this makes sense. I'm going to pause in a bit so you can ask some questions. So we expect to launch this hub. We're hoping to launch it before a token's live because it may allow you to be able to boost up them S carrots too. I can't say how, and I can't say what, and I'm never going to say how, and I'm never going to say what. I might not even know how, but I'll leave you with that to think about. Also, proof of pet is still a thing, and again, not going to tell you when or how. You just need to know that you need to have it before any potential token comes out, and we're still committed to making that happen. So already a couple of massive things to look forward to, but that's never enough. So what else? So between the hub and rumors of token integration, there are also big ideas on how to use these vehicles for user acquisition as well. And just touching on user acquisition, we are planning a My Pet Hooligan showcase event, front page of Twitch, with 2 mini tournaments. I'm going to say as much as I can right now, but there's still a lot of logistical and planning going into this.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say too much. One of them we intend to be creator focused, and one will be community focused, of which there may be a pre-qualifier. We're working with a team behind 3XP on this, and potentially OpenSea2. This is a spotlight event for My Pet Hooligan, and hopefully the first of many as we continue to build out the game even more. But we also want to get more visibility on it. And we also want to have fun with it. We have a game that's fun. We have a working game that we can actually start to bring into the competitive world a little bit, and have prizes, and have little prize funds, and even physical prizes as well. So await further details on that. We're just locking down a date, and just locking down the logistics of the activities right now, and ensuring that we're completely solid with it. There may be some other surprises around that too. In fact, there has to be some other surprises. So this is something really important for us, and something we really want to get right. It's important for us in terms of not only showcasing My Pet Hooligan, but it's also important for us to actually have a bit of fun, and actually be appreciative of what we've got right now. Even though it's still the start, even though there's still so much coming, we're in a very good position. Essentially, in many ways, we're very well ahead of others in this space, and it's a way to celebrate Web3 gaming in particular. And we're not going to shy away from that. In fact, we're going to be very bold about it in this event. So we'll give you more details on that. But it's also a way of giving back to the community, because I want the opportunity for individuals within our community that have been grinding away in the game to have a shot at winning some stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
And again, individuals who want others to participate on their behalf, maybe there's a mechanism for that too, which we did see with the likes of Bored Ape as well. So a few things I've kind of touched on there so far. I'm not tracking the chat, by the way, but I hope it's positive. If not, let's try. You'll have to fill me in. I want to touch on some of the kind of game stuff as well. Again, still early days. So what's going on with the game development aside from all the Web3 integrations, PlayFab integrations, and continuously what's important is we're continually working on optimization, and we want to lower the bar as much as possible on the hardware requirements to get into the game. I think, we believe it's a little bit too high right now. So we want to lower that bar a bit, make it a little bit easier on, not so much, not powerful machines like SV's machine and Evil Hopper's machine right now, because that's important, right? Not everybody's got access to all the latest and greatest tech, so that's very important to get right. So that's continuous. So what we're working on right now, in particular, is questing systems, more gamification layers to the existing game modes, number go up systems. Take from that what you may wish. The Web3 integrations and the PlayFab integrations. What PlayFab is essentially allowing us to do is be a little bit more flexible than just using Epic Online services, which is what's opened up the path for us to get the OG hooligans and NFTs back in the game as well. Can't put a date on that right this second, but this is pretty much top priority right now for the game dev team and the Web3 dev team. Yeah. This is main top priority. And there is a next patch due, which is likely to be after Thanksgiving. So expect that also. So a lot of the focus is on that. There are a few more things I kind of wanted to touch on, and then I'm going to kind of open up. PlayFab me, bro. What does that mean? If you know, you know. All right, I'm not technical, but we can see if I can pull anybody in to talk about that a bit more. But
it's essentially it's just a server system makes the tracking of KPIs and the scaling of our servers a lot more
What's that word?
Reciprocity.
Yeah, and allows
it just means a smoother, better experience for y'all.
And ranked matchmaking and proper matchmaking like other games generally have. So there's a few other kind of things. I'm always kind of tuned into what some of the kind of pain points are within the community, and what individuals waiting on. I know we're always looking for news. I know we're always looking for new exciting things. Hopefully, I've outlined a few that are definitely massively exciting. I'm freaking massively excited about them as well. But some of the other kind of things that have been coming up is white paper, new roadmap, etc. Again, I'd have to say that I think we've touched on this before. They're essentially the foundation. So in terms of like where the token will sit, that will essentially have its own paper, from my understanding. And anything kind of happening within the game and My Pet Hooligan and upcoming milestones within the ecosystem will essentially have its own roadmap. So they'll essentially the orange paper in its current form will no longer cease to exist. But what essentially will happen, there'll be two different papers that will outline different elements of both ecosystems. One being a token ecosystem, and one being My Pet Hooligan ecosystem, if that makes sense. So that's all in the works. and that's all important that we get as much of that detail out to you as possible. But on that, from the My Pet Hooligan side, you can expect information in respects to the others and when we were expecting that to happen. Zuckbots, the game, Alpha, Beta, Web3, and Season 1, a console program, and later on mobile program as well. So all of that is what you'll kind of expect on the My Pet Hooligan roadmap and any paperwork around that. And on the kind of foundation and token side, it'll be more so about kind of token governance processes, vision, and protocols. It'll be more so on that side of things. So that I hope that answers that question. I think some of you have still got access to. I keep getting distracted by the chat as well. I think some of you still got access to that paper, which is still live somewhere in the ether. But that's what's coming, and this is all part of the next few months and what we've got planned. A lot of this stuff is going to just be hitting one after the other. Another thing that kind of comes up often is studio runway. Like, studio have not made it clear what the runway is. So, like, just to be clear, I'm not involved in any financial decision making or proposals for financial decision making or the running of AMGI Studios, nor is West. Like, we're not privy to that information. We don't have that information. That information is not publicly recorded anywhere. I don't know, what the appetite is for that to be recorded anywhere either. I think what I do know is that there will be press releases that go out, which will give you indications in terms of where we're at in terms of raises and where the token is at in terms of raise and what partners are involved in that. So that again is what will be coming out as well. All seems very healthy on this end. We didn't participate in. We've not really done an equity round for the studio as of yet. There is a plan to do a Series A, likely early next year, and that's what the C-suite over here are currently working on. But in that time, where we get to, we've got plans for revenue generation. We've got sustainable licensing deals in play. There's a lot of business that kind of happens in and outside of My Pet Hooligan that the C-suite and management of AMGI Studio are involved in day to day. That unfortunately me and West are not. But at the same time, we've got to do our role, and we'll do the role to the best of our abilities. And I'll give you as much information as I know. So if that question ever comes up, from my understanding, everything's healthy. The Series A is not yet been started. It will happen likely early next year. Press releases will go out in terms of token round and in terms of private equity into the studio as well. Okay, so what else have I not touched on? Okay, K Gold items. I don't know if is everything sold out from the initial drop?
No.
Okay, so all of that should be going out, and nothing's gone out as of yet. I ain't going to say it has, but we should be expecting to start to get some of that out next week. Some of the stuff may take a bit longer, and then we are working on adding more stock to that. We also want to do cool things with, like, maybe like one-offs. We would like to get a rug off Webby. We would like to get some of the lamps and some of the stuff that Lord Victor's been displaying. From John, it's John, right? And we would like to do some, custom things in the studio where we've got certain pre-painted hooligan heads as well. So I think actually it'd be cool to add something. If we added a pre-painted specific hooligan head for an NFT holder,
that'd be sick.
Charge a lot of clear gold. Let's put that on there as well. So let's say Lord Victor wants his particular PFP hooligan painted into a hoolie head and etched and made as a professional one of one. I think that should be an item we should add on as well. It takes a bit longer to do. We've got one individual who's a pretty skilled painter and craft worker, but he is pretty decent, and you should see some of the ones on the wall here. I think that's pretty much majority of the stuff that I wanted to touch on. Again, just trust the process. A lot happening over the next few months. There's probably just going to be one thing after another.
Yeah.
We're excited. We want to bring the excitement back into the fold, and I think there's a lot to be excited about kind of coming up. And we want to really kind of get into having a lot of fun again.
Yeah, guys,
and really dive into this Web3 thing, because that's what we are. That's what we're really proud of.
That's what we know has kind of gotten us this far. And so ultimately, guys, there's a lot that we're not going to be able to say moving forward. And fundamentally, just want you guys to know, just kind of like expect to see the updates as they're coming. Be prepared to just see things coming through. We're really leaning on you right now for the excitement and just the participation, given that we can only kind of communicate so much. So it is coming though, and just want you guys to know that we're here and we're fucking charging on it.
It's kind of interesting because, like, I say when, particularly in terms of tokens, Shrapnel launched a token last week, and it just kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, I remember seeing, it's probably like 24 to 48 hours notice, and it was mainly done by third parties, like the exchanges that were getting listed on. And again, it's very likely that was due to legal reasons, etc. as well. We're slightly structured. I mean, we're not slightly structured. I believe we're structured in a different way as well. So a lot to be excited about. There's a lot more we're definitely doing in terms of build up. A lot more we're doing in terms of kind of the Web3 integrations. What we've kind of designed out for the MPH reward system is really fucking good. Like, I'm massively pumped about it.
Yeah,
I think it just hits everything on the nose really well, and it's going to be a perfect blend of.
It's clean.
It's going to be a perfect blend of. This is what you can do, but there's going to be some unknowns that you'll have to kind of speculate and work on as teams as well, which I think is massively important as well. So I think we've hit a really good.
And the studio
ground with that, yeah.
The studio as a whole and the game team, we're all really excited about it. Everybody's pretty buzzed.
Yeah,
so, we're all buzzed about it.
Yeah, so there's stuff we're going to tell you, but there's a lot of stuff we're not going to tell you.
Yeah,
but there's a lot of things that are going to be surprising, and that's how we want to keep it. Like, so you can press as much as you want for information, but essentially we don't want to give you too much information, because then you'll be able to farm the system. So it's about having fun. It's about working together, and it's also, the system we design is about being flexible and being able to not end up in roadblocks where one platform down the road says, "Oh, you can't be on here because we don't like Web3 games." So we're trying to be really kind of forward thinking about this and as flexible as possible. So I'm massively excited about this. I'm massively excited that we're really going back to the hooligan roots right now. That means let's smash out some more content. Let's have more fun. Let's get some of these activations back in the bag, and let's really do the things that really make MPH special and very different to other properties in this space, and very different to other properties out there. Period. So just kind of touching on that. So just please forgive me and others in the studio if we're not as active in the kind of general chats or hooligan holders chats, etc. on Discord. Like, we will endeavor to be more active in there, but at the same time, we are trying to balance a whole load of deliverables to get out the door. And like, everything we're doing is essentially part of a master plan. Every piece plays an important role as part of the rollout process and as part of the overall general process and how everything fits in together. So that's pretty much the majority of what I wanted to say. I hope all of that makes sense, and I hope that individuals where it doesn't make sense can essentially fill in the gaps or ask me some questions right now. So pretty much open to questions right now. What I will say is that probably from the next session forward, I want to start to kind of use these sessions again more as workshops, more as tasks, more as kind of homework, to really kind of help ensure that we are gathering your thoughts and ideas into what we're developing in this ecosystem as well, which is why we are a community, and which is why we are a powerful community, and which is why what a community should be used for, essentially. All right, going back to you. Yo, big up Jay Shin. What's going on, dude? All right, so open now. Open forum. Rugs on.
Hello, Sky Offer. Hello.
Yes, let's go for it. Who's Evil Hopper? What's going on? How's your new machine going?
I'm all right. But listen, yeah, we
Yeah.
are not going to get 5,000 followers on that carrot coin with that tweet.
All right. Well, you never know. You never know. Let's see. That's because you don't know what's going to happen, Evil Hopper. Evil Hopper's gone.
No, I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm on the game as well.
All right. Yeah, I'll jump in with you at some point. Maybe on Friday. Maybe tomorrow,
I'm
actually.
on level 73 at the minute.
All right. Not so long to go. You're working hard for those golden undies.
Yeah.
All right. Well. Apparently, there's a teaser trailer coming out at 5,000 followers. So there must be a way to get there. Let's see. You've obviously got little belief, Evil Hopper.
Can't you make it 2,000 followers?
Maybe. Just wait and see, dude. Remember, trust the process.
In fact, I think it's stupid, yeah. We got like 8,000 views, but we get like a couple of followers every time we get 1,000 views. Why don't they just all flaming follow it? It's stupid.
Unfortunately, that's not how things work. But don't worry, there's a plan. There's a plan, Evil Hopper. There's a plan. It's whenever there's a reason to follow something, of which many reasons will occur, people will then start following. So don't worry about that. I've been watching the Carrot Coin Twitter. There's not much in there to follow right now anyway. So I'm not surprised it's not that tons of followers. But, ultimately, I believe there'll be more information, more stuff, more content coming on there, which is what you need to essentially gain followers. So I'd say just trust the process. I wouldn't worry about that too much right now. I don't believe the Twitter is officially launched yet either. So if it keeps chugging away, even if it's 1 follower a day, it doesn't matter. It doesn't stop the train from running and doing what it needs to do. So just wait for that and trust the process. Yeah, exactly. Carrot Coin account will blow up. Yep, 100% will blow up. There's a lot happening, and there's going to be a lot in terms of what this dashboard and hub and some of the quests might pertain to getting new followers too. So just bear with the process and trust the process. Skyhopper is being pointed to reverse AMA questions. Okay, I'm jumping into there because we do have some individuals. All right, if you can help me, Electrify or Aix or whoever else is on here, if there's any kind of questions that are coming up in chat, just bring them up to me so I'm not having to kind of read through, if that helps. And in the meantime, if anyone else wants to kind of jump on, try and get a bit more clarity on some of the stuff I've spoken about, or if you've got any kind of other questions or things I've not touched on that you want to know more about, bring them to the table. Let's go through them. That's what this session's all about.
Skyhopper, got a question for you.
Go for it. I recognise that. I recognise that.
Recognize that voice anywhere.
Okay, good. Right. You mentioned DAO and control of DAO by holders. Is that holders of coins or is that holders of hoolies?
So essentially, with a coin, it'd be holders of coins, of which I believe what the current system states is that essentially the majority of holders, if not all holders of Carrot Coin from inception, should be those that are entitled to Carrot Coin, which, as we know, should be MPH holders. Does that make sense?
Sure. So can then we immediately vote for the DAO
Yes.
to be controlled by hoolies instead?
I don't know about that. Let me find out. It's a pretty interesting question. Let me find out. You'll then own you're then going to own the DAO essentially. All right, let me put down a question. If there is any questions like this, ping them up because I'll make a list of them and we can kind of go through them with legal counsel. All right, so I'm noting this one down. One sec. Who is? Okay. I mean, it might be a far stretch, but we'll definitely come across that question. Also, another question that is still with legal is around the selling of OG Hooligan traits and potential what's the word I'm looking for? Royalties coming back into holders as well. So that's still with legal right now. Hopefully by next week should have an answer on that as well. I'm not saying that's a given, But I'm just saying that it's a question that was come up, and we need to get an answer for it. So committed to getting you that answer too. So that's two questions in the mix for legal. Anything else, even on a legal side, that you guys want a bit more clarity on, or again, like as part of this session, like we're not averse to any ideas in terms of integrations in the game or rewards in the game, and how you guys kind of feel that should work, or ideas of how what certain things could be done. Definitely bring those to the table as well. We've got a ton of things already on the board that we're doing, but that's the power in a community. Like every voice and every opinion is important as well. So bring that. One of the things that we have been working on with legal quite a lot is this element of pooled player versus player or team versus team battles. I'm not going to talk about it too much, but that's something that we're working on, and is looking really nice right now. All right, was there anything?
Anything else, NFTs?
Proposal to use carrot coin to buy hooligans and put them on display.
No, that's it for me for the moment.
So yeah, it is. I think that's something DAO can do. Yeah, for sure. DAO can propose to buy assets. Of course it can.
Yep, definitely.
I think there was a recent DAO proposal for ApeCoin to buy up loads of Yuga assets as well. I can't remember if that passed or not. Somebody else might have some color on that, but yeah, no, that's definitely doable. All right, any other kind of questions? Anything I'm missing? Yeah, it did pass. Anything? Where do we want ours in? We want ours in the Louvre. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Louvre.
Oh yeah, the Louvre.
The Louvre.
We want a hooligan in the Louvre. That's what the DAO should propose. The Louvre. Louvre. Yeah, I've been to the Louvre. It's quite nice. I didn't spend enough time in there, which is
I wouldn't mind
which
going
is a
back.
shame. Yeah, and I mean, I was really intrigued by it after reading. What was that book? The one where
Da Vinci Code?
Da Vinci Code. Yeah, that's the one. I was going to say the one where there's a geezer who's like a lecturer, who's also a professor, but that's also Indiana Jones as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I like a good adventure movie. Anyway, all right. What am I missing in the chat? Electrify a geezer. So yeah, interestingly, in America, geezer means an old person, whereas in England it pretty much means anything.
Guy, yeah.
Yeah, but it also, I mean, the technical kind of dictionary term is probably an old person.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd be hard pressed to know if geezer shows up in any dictionaries. I'm sure it does somewhere. But
A geezer, is it geezer or geyser, which is like a natural
geezer or geyser.
Geyser. All right. Anyway, sorry.
Large hot.
I'm kind of going
Large hot.
going off topic right now.
Flowing with water.
All right. Electrify. Am I missing anything? Anything else coming up in the chats? Bring it to
Let's have a look. I've got. Give me one.
Miss your Australian voice, dude.
Howdy, mate.
Howdy.
Howdy. Let's go. We got. I think we know the answer to this. Is the initial circulating supply of carrots going to be the only form of staking rewards and nothing else?
As it stands, from my understanding, yes. However, if the token is listed on exchanges, which I believe is the plan, there will need to be essentially some tokens out to liquidity and market makers and service providers. So, but ultimately,
depends on the foundation.
Yeah, a job of a market maker is not essentially to just go and dump all the tokens. They essentially have a job to do. They essentially borrow tokens. That's how it works. I can tell what I can do is, I think what actually what actually be a good bill to do in the next reverse AMAs. And remember, we had some sessions which were more kind of educational sessions on like liquidity pools, tokens, TGEs, exchanges. I could definitely, I think, as part of the reverse AMAs going forward, we should definitely have a segment where we touch on, or just do an educational piece on how a market maker works, or how a liquidity pool works, or like, how exchanges, what they look for to list tokens, and how launch pads work. I'm really open to do that, actually. If everyone else is open to do that, it's more of an educational piece. We could spend like 15 minutes on a topic, every couple of weeks. But essentially, it's knowledge not only for what's happening within our ecosystem, but knowledge you can take and apply anywhere else as well, and also knowledge that you'll always have and be kind of more mature in how you operate within the crypto landscape. Thankfully, a lot of us here have been in the space a long time. We've been through the highs and lows. We've been through the rogues, the non-rogues. We've seen things at different levels of maturity. And this. And you know what? Every few years, crypto's going to die, and then all of a sudden it makes a huge comeback.
All of a sudden, it's stoked, and then that's right. The world after like a year and a half. It's just
Yeah, but the good thing is that bad actors get rid of, and better actors step in. So yeah, I'm up for doing that. So I think maybe next reverse AMA, let's have a 15-minute talk about market making, and then I think the next one we can do a little bit about exchanges and how exchange listings work and launch pads, and then we can do one about liquidity. So we'll do one every time. I'm open for that. I don't know what the question was. I just kind of went off there. Electrify. What else?
It's been answered. The circulating supply.
Okay.
Let's see. I think some of this can't be really answered because of legal, but I want to ask him.
Right.
What use cases will S-Carrots have immediately after token generation event?
West is saying that I can't answer that question.
That's fine.
Listen, I've alluded to enough in this conversation.
I think that they go back and listen to it. They will.
You're gonna have to read between some lines. That's all I can say. Something. What I'll say is that what I am going to say is this: there will in our My Pet Hooligan hub that we're going to create, there will be a point system, and there will be ways to make that point number go up. Basically, that's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if that helps. That may replace S-Carrots, may not.
Sounds good. I got a few other questions. What about the 2% instant unlock for team? Still valid or changing?
2% instant unlock for team. That may be changing. Let me go back on that. I think that's more so less for team, but more so on the service provider side. So let me get a bit more clarity on that and come back to you guys. Can
you be specific about the exact marketing plan for the Carrot token? I don't think we can.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Could you?
But I just do know that there's obviously going to be some activities into the run up of any form of token release, whether it's Carrot or something else. And I think there was I do say there's been a couple of interesting ways other tokens have really kind of helped with their run ups. I think Arbitrum did some interesting things. Memeland did some interesting things with Meme Coin. There's all kinds of things that Carrot Coin could potentially borrow from such systems as well.
Sounds good. Can you be specific?
Ultimately, anybody who operates in this space knows marketing's important, hype's important, awareness is important, engagement is important. So, with that being said, all of that is important to the successful launch of any token and the successful sustainability of any token, as is utility too. We talk about this often, like profiles is really important, especially in crypto. Like some people are traders, some people are farmers, some people, are airdrop farmers, some people are long-term holders, some people are very kind of utility focused. Like, within any launch of any product or any coin, you almost have to kind of factor in all of these different actors and factor in how you're going to appease all these different actors as well. Does that make sense? Electrify. I think none of this shit makes sense to me. Let's move on to the next question.
Sky, can I just say something?
Sorry, I'm just trying to find all the questions. Where am I up to? Can we make an actual NVIDIA partnership announcement on social media or not?
In due course, yeah. The studio will definitely in due course do something. Yeah.
Okay. Answered.
It's like there's like a lot of news that's parked right now, because ultimately this is all about a marketing run up, and there'll be marketing run up for the studio, for the game, for other vehicles as well. So that's why there's some stuff that's just kind of parked, waiting to go.
Sounds good. We've got a lot of holders coming on, a lot of new people coming in recently and asking us about the orange paper. So is there a rough ETA on that and token paper?
Yeah, so we're currently working on. I'd say we're a few weeks away from that. That's what I'd say. Yeah, because like basically, essentially, there's some updates we've got to make to websites. It's likely the foundation will be setting up a website as well, and all that information will essentially be part of those products being the websites, and the websites going live will need to contain all that information.
Sounds good. Any update on me? I will continue asking.
I'd just say that pretty much fundamentally not much has changed. I'd just say there's probably more benefits to be got potentially up front. But fundamentally nothing's really changed from the old paper. There's just got to be more detail on certain aspects, and things need to be kind of separated out.
Okay. Sounds good.
Will we be able to link multiple wallets to the player hub?
So the player hub, let me speak to Dev. Is that something you'd like to do?
I know multiple OG owners have their
Yeah.
Hoolies in
Yes.
separate wallets.
Okay,
So
fine.
it's mandatory if you ask me. And
All
I'm
right.
one of
That's
them.
a
All
real
right,
good note.
done.
Yeah.
All right, so that's in the. Yeah, like I say, it's not not doable, but if that's what we want, that's going to be done. So that's in the requirements. Thanks for that. I don't know who said yes, but it sounded like an Irish person.
NFTs.
It was.
Is he? All right. Anything else I'm missing? Electrify.
One more.
Anything else anyone wants to bring up? Yeah, go for it.
Any update on IMI getting fixed with the connection wallet? I think that was down for a bit.
Yeah, IMI fixed. I don't have the info on that. I'm going to have to come back to you on that. So what's the current issue with that? It's about the wallet connection, right?
I have zero idea. I'm just reading the questions through. I think you can't really connect if you have a ledger.
Okay, so it's the additional feature, right? All right,
it could be even a standard connection if someone else can confirm. I haven't tried it in a while.
Okay, let me boot it up over on this side and give that a shot. Yeah, definitely want to see more content coming in through that side as well. Have you noted that one as well? There is some new stuff, by the way, on the. I think we've been approved for an Amazon brand store yesterday.
Yeah.
So we have been approved for My Pet Hooligan Amazon brand store, and I think there was some new T-shirts that went online as well. Just getting a bit more creative with things. There is still the intention of having like kid-friendly sizes as well, so that's all kind of being worked on. So yeah, bear with us on that as well. Definitely more coming in that space.
Sounds good. I think that's all from what I can see. If anyone else has questions, feel free to jump up.
Jump around, jump
Yeah,
up,
I just
and get
want
down.
to say something.
Jump up.
So,
You keep coming in and out, Evil Hopper.
oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Right. Basically, is the interloop still a thing?
Interloop. Yeah, still a thing. It's still a framework we're working on. Yeah, it's down the road, but it's still a thing.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant.
I can't put no dates on that. Let me tell you that. But a lot, basically, with that, a lot of the work that we're doing is in terms of being designed in blocks and flexibilities to allow that to happen. But it's still down the road. It's a future vision. It's something we want to do, and it's something we're still working on. But there's a lot of other stuff we got to do first. What's his question about multi-chain? Yes, everything we're going to be doing is going to be multi-chain. NFTs, any token integrations, multi-chain, omni-chain is important to us. Again, it's a matter of flexibility. It's a matter of not being tied into things. It's a matter of then being able to link decentralized apps that potentially work on different EVM chains and still allow us to do what we need to do and be flexible. So yeah, that's happening. It's already happening. Multi-chain, multiverse is the plan.
A multiversal chain.
Multiversal chain. There you go. I've still not seen Spider-Man 2 Enter the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, neither. I haven't seen any of them.
You know, seen it?
I'm watching all the
Has
Marvel
anyone seen it? Is
movies
any good?
Oh, section.
Oh, dude, like, that's what I thought before I watched it.
That's supposed to be really good. The Spider-Man's supposed to be good.
All right. Anything else coming up?
Can you talk a bit more about Zuckbots? Like, why do we want to own a Zuckbot, basically?
Why do we want to own the Zuckbot? Well, there's still a lot in the roadmap to be delivered on Zuckbots. There is still the potential that the DAO could vote for Zuckbots to be included as part of the staking regime going forward. There's still the potential that we may do something else with Zuckbots in our player hub. There is still 3 types of Zuckbots to come out, and there is still the Z Combinator to use as well. And we are still working on Zuckbot minigames. So it's a hell of a lot of reasons to still want to be involved in the Zuckbot ecosystem. And not only that, the Zuckbot ecosystem had some of our best freaking content to date.
Absolutely.
And we've still got stuff in the stash that we want to release. And there's a lot of fun to be had with those beasts. And there's a lot of fun to be had once we start to integrate them into the wider game as well. So I'm all for Zuckbots. I love Zuckbots. And the Zuckbots are coming back.
When we were in the studio many months ago, we saw a quick run through of the previous Zuckbot mobile game.
Yes.
What is happening
yeah.
with the Zuckbot mobile game?
So there's still elements of development on that, but I will say that, you know, being the resource limited and kind of delivery on their overall game, a lot of the resources has been diverted more towards ensuring that we've got the right framework for the My Pet Hooligan game, because ultimately Zuckbots feed into that. So it's still there, it's still being developed on. It might change slightly to what you've kind of seen, but you know, it's still our intention to deliver on that. That was my most political answer that I can give. All right, NFTs is gone.
Can I just say something quickly?
Yeah.
Of course.
This
Nothing
might be
harsh,
off.
please.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. This is off the top.
This might be off the topic, but when my hooligan runs through a bit of water, there's no
Yeah.
wet footprints or his clothes are not wet.
I can tell you, I can speak to that, no problem. Yeah, so that's changing. You will be able.
I didn't even know about that. Is that happening?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's,
there you go.
Yeah, you're gonna be like, we've got a whole bunch of new sounds coming into the game. That's a pretty big undertaking, but we do have a lot of new sounds getting in there. And
So what?
yeah, obviously, surface actions are a big piece of it.
I didn't know wet footprints was a thing.
Yeah, that's perfect. It's all about detail, isn't it?
Oh, dude, everything, man.
Yeah, so Zuckbots essentially will be deflationary when Z Combinator comes out. By the way, I just saw that in chat. It can be deflationary. It's up to you.
Definitely.
It's up to you what you want to do when the Z Combinator comes out. That's all I can say on that. What else? You kind of made me think about something there, Evil Hopper. But I can't seem to put my mind. Is it footprints? No, but yeah, I mean, even with footprints and these things, it's like one thing to understand is like there's like walls of ideas over here. But you know, again, like even though we've got a big team, we need a bigger team, and you know, ultimately we will grow into a bigger team. But you know, everything. There's a lot that's being worked on. It's just there's also kind of like priorities and then nice to haves. Some of these things are probably nice to haves, whereas the priority is going to be all the Web3 integrations, optimization, the server systems and matchmaking. These are essentially the infrastructure side of things is essentially the main priority to get that really bang on, really efficient. And then some of these other things, which, you know, we'll put in the nice to have bucket, are still there, still being worked on, but they'll essentially come a little bit later. But that's why we're doing this iteratively. And that's why we're still early access with many more phases to go.
Can someone who does Web3 stuff please update or not even the contract, just the way that we claim and stake, etc., on the website, like to bring it into
Yes.
kind of the new ERC 721A or whatever it is that's not new anymore. Because it's frustrating. Like it shows like the current gas the exact moment. So if gas jumps up, you don't get your transaction through. People come in and asked about that, and also the fact that it's old as well. It should be set, kind of to 3 or 4 GUI higher, and then the priority should be like 0.1 as well, not like the actual gas fee.
Yes,
we'll
that
get
is
that
getting changed as well.
But all that's essentially going to go into the hub as well.
Yeah, that's completely on that one. That's a good note.
So the hub will essentially be the central place for all this going forward.
Yes, exactly.
And that means a new design, new graphical user interface, better user, better.
And everything's going to be obviously kind of UI matched and designed to match the overall interfaces with the game. So we're looking forward to a facelift on that whole system, like big time. It's a thorn in our side for sure.
Big time. Alrighty then. I think that's all for now, unless there's anything else that's come up. I think for next session, we're going to try and see if we can give you some homework, and we'll touch a little bit more on market making and how that whole game works. If we could be dismissed, I would ask your por favor, and we're going to kind of get back to some business over here. And if anyone wants to hit me up on DM or get any kind of clarity on stuff or things you're not so sure of and don't want to ask, definitely kind of hit me up on the DM as well. Got some new faces in here, which is good to see.
Welcome all.
Welcome all. Bogdan S. I don't think I've seen you before. Claw Run. Some cool names. Who else we got in here?
NFT responsibility. Oh yeah, that
NFT responsibility. Yeah. Big shout out to NFT responsibility. Yeah, shout out to yeah, and also put it on your list to make us some soundboard items, please.
Yeah, we can do that too.
All right, so West is going to make us some soundboard items. Any ideas?
Actually, yeah, a little bit of homework, guys.
I don't like that one. I don't like that Papi Manino, guys. It's pissing me off, man.
Yeah, if you guys do have any requests for soundboard items, drop it in the chat already. So
we need what do I always say?
Okay. No mooly.
No hooly, no mooly. Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Hello.
Q Explosion's a good one. Hello.
Q Explosion.
Can I just quickly say something?
Oh yeah, go for it. Is that evil? No.
Yeah. You know, like in the game, can we have like thunder and lightning, like storm, when we're playing the game as well?
Yeah. Tell you what, I know that's something that's actually probably been thrown around the game side. I can certainly bring it up to the game team, but that might go in the nice to have pile just because they've got a whole bunch of other things that they're kind of working on specifically with. Like,
I do know that he was working on it last week.
Yeah, I do think that might actually be on a list, but I don't want to speak for Carl on that one. So let me see what we can do about that. We can certainly at least get that over to them.
I will say though, Evil, I did see Carl working on it last week. I just don't know if he was just. He was just having some fun.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, cool. So all right, so that is actually on the
yeah.
But Carl wants to be able to do a bunch of different world events, like things that happen that aren't on a consistent basis.
Right.
Okay.
It's just an optimization piece. But yeah, eventually.
All right, there you go. All right then, everybody. Thank you very much. Appreciate you all as always. Hang in there. Trust the process. A lot happening. We'll communicate as much as we can.
Yeah, as much as we're able to, guys.
As always, bring on. I wish I could wake up in 3 months' time and everything's all rosy.
Yeah, man, I think right now it's just one foot
right now
together.
it's a heavy grind. It's a heavy lift. We're going to be working our asses off as usual.
We're not going anywhere. We're just going to continue on.
It's a big undertaking. It's a big responsibility, but that's what we're here for, and that's what we're here to do, and that's what we're here for on your behalf as well. And I'm going to continue to push on behalf of the Carrot Gang and make things a reality. Thank you very much. Love you all.
Yeah, love and appreciate all you guys. Sincerely, thank you.
Good stuff. We'll go on to sound as well. Speak soon. Bye.
See you guys.